Yes, you are all good to go now.
Sure.
Please.
Thank you, Brother Imran. Okay, the reason why exactly I started 10:30 is in Agile, there is everything is like time box. We have to start on time and we have to finish on time. Maybe 1 or 2 minutes delay is fine, but more than 5 minutes, it's not acceptable. So that's what all the Agile coaches will implement on that. Initially, it looked funny for me, but like after long time, actually, I understand that it's a really discipline, and we have to aware that agile process. So that's the reason I started. It's not for to pinpoint anybody, but to just to know like how the agiles work actually. Uh, okay, let me share my screen. Can I share my screen, brother Imran? Let me see.
I think you can, or you don't
Uh,
have the.
I don't have option to share my screen.
It's right in the center.
Okay, present now. Okay,
Yes.
okay, okay. Let me share my screen. Let me know if you're able to see my screen now. Is my screen visible?
Yes, yes, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to do. There are lots of ways we can plan, we can execute on agile projects. Actually, I'm just going to go on simple method. Actually, plus it's a time bound. We'll try to stop like around in 50 minutes exactly. Okay, I know it's like very less time. Let's see like whatever we can able to see, and then we can plan next session if you want. Okay, so for example, brother Imran is a product owner, and he brought a product that we have to build as a company. There is an electricity power company which they want to build an end-to-end platform so that customer will go and see their account detail, account information. They can change the address and they can pay the bill. They can get the refund as well. Okay, so that's like the company, the management has given for us like 3 sprint actually. So what we are going to do is that first we have to start the PI planning. PI is nothing but program increment planning. So early there will be like 4 PI, like every quarter, 1 quarter is like 1 PI. So in 1 quarter we'll have a 6 sprints actually. Sprint will last for 2 weeks. Okay, and the management and the product owner is asking we have to release plan release with the incremental. That means that they have given a task that in first PI we have to deploy in the production the home page and the account page where this user can able to log in, they can register the login, and they can navigate to the account page and they see the bill. The payment and all will be the next PI. Okay, so the third PI will be the end-to-end product. So that's what we are going to do now. The first session is the PI planning. Okay, for PI planning, I'll show you the page. This is the page. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, this is real. This is a prod actually. This is an example. So there will be like company logo. There will be menus actually. There will be information about some of the community services, and there will be like a footer where we have this media carrier about. This is all like design. Okay, so for that, actually, first we have to start with the sign in and then go to the home page and then we have to check the user's account. So that's the first PI plan and we are going to plan for that one. So what I did is that I use this
So,
free tool.
what we can say that these are the prioritized features that we should be delivering in our first product increment.
Yes, brother. Yes, you're right. So for that product
Okay.
increment, actually, I have created some epics actually. I know this is not in the sprint 1.1. Um, I forgot to use as a backlog, but we'll use as a backlog only, and then we'll divide into sprints. So now,
Is it
first thing we
possible
have to.
if you can zoom this a bit?
Okay, Now it's fine.
For me, it's okay. If, others can comment as well.
Is everybody is able to see my screen? Uh, I'll not see that thumbs up and all. Okay.
Yes, yes, it's okay.
Okay. Now this is not a demo or something. This is like inactive present. Okay. So now we have to prioritize this whole epic actually. Epic is nothing but the bunch of stories which will perform in the particular epic actually. For example, I just put like login button. This is login functionality. If you take login, right, there will be like user ID. I'll show you. If I go to login page, there will be like lots of things we have to work on this page actually. Like for example, we have to put this email box, user ID, password, and then validation of the password, sign in button, this information, this Lego, this all this thing will come under the one epic actually. The whole page will come under one epic, and we have to create a story for every inch of this particular page. Validation. So for example, if I have not entered this one, right, this will be like one of the story where we have to validate that email has not been entered. So those kind of information we have to get. So now, so this is like design homepage, login button, safety. This is all epic actually. I have created. So now, as a
Safir,
team,
so sorry, Safir, to
no
interrupt.
problem.
Is this not called features, or is this called epic?
Okay. Yes, you are right. Actually, we can. It's like based on the company. We can call actually epic or future. So this is like similar actually. I cannot say like same. It's like similar actually. So we can call it as a feature. But now what I'm doing is that actually the first home page is the feature. Okay.
And
Uh,
and, and and Epic can have more than one feature in it. You can take it like this as well.
mhm, yeah.
What is the definition of epic in contrast to this project you were showing us?
Okay. Uh, Epic is nothing but where we have like all the customized information we have to build in particular a page or particular project. Okay. For now, if I take logging, right, login is a separate page itself. If we go here, there is a whole separate page itself. Like we have to build this page, and for that, actually, in Agile, we have to measure everything like as a story. So if I take this whole epic, right, there will be like this screen will be like one design. There will be like email, password, sign in button. There will be lots of things we have to do. So all this combination will combine into one epic. Did you got the brother? Or I'm
Yes.
confusing?
No, it's okay.
Okay. So now what we have to do is that for PI planning, we have to prioritize which of the epic we're going to deliver in sprints actually. Or it's not like only one epic has to deliver in the sprint. It will be like multiple sprint also we can deliver the epic. Okay. So now we have this kind of epic actually. So can anyone okay, let's start actually. Which one we have to prioritize? The first one we have to complete actually.
The design page,
Yes, that's correct
Design
actually.
homepage. Yeah.
Can you tell me the reason why we have to go for the design page?
because we have to make sure that how our page will be look like, what features will it have. It is basically the part of the planning phase, which in which we will design our home page. It will depict our products, our features features that we our product will have, our company policies, everything it will have in this design page.
Mhm. Yeah, you're totally correct actually. So for example, if you go here, right, so this will be if you don't have any design, if you don't know where the button or where the menu will be there, we doesn't know like where we have to go and how we have to work on actually. So that's the reason actually the design page is very important, and that's the first priority which we have to work on actually. Okay, after this one,
Safir, one more thing.
yes.
Okay, what you people said 100% right, but priority, priority one also, when the change in the design homepage, everything you have to do rework. So it is the main page where if it is freeze, then other work is, a little less work. Because if you do later on and something happen in design page, all other things have to be, rework. This is also one of the reason to
Uh-huh.
maybe.
Okay. Yeah. But you're like you are correct actually, but one thing actually in agile actually most of the time like that management or the product owner come and say that like we have to change little bit of information or design actually. Design in the sense is not only the color and all this thing, actually functionality also will come under the design actually, like login, carrier, help. So that also can be changed actually. It's not like static, anytime we can able to change.
Although it is, story one, but the story one comment can become, later on also. Maybe in first sprint you define three stories, and
Mhm.
then sprint two you define other three stories. So, but the first three story they can give comment in another sprint, which is you are not defining at that particular sprint.
Uh, Actually, I said actually epic can be spread into few sprints actually. Whether this epic can be work on 1.1 and 1.2 and 1.3 also.
Okay, for example, in 1.4 this design homepage was not there. It's done. But
Mhm.
they can give the comment on design page on 1.4 also.
Yes, if you want
Yes.
actually, if any changes is there, yes, they can give. So
Okay.
that's why agile comes actually. Anytime, anywhere, we can able to change actually. So we have to be flexible on that.
Mm.
So
Okay.
it's not like whole design change actually. Only less actually, like only like 5 or 10%. I'll just give you an
Mm.
example. Only small percentage of time we can able to change, not the
Yes.
whole design.
Mm.
Okay. Okay. After design, which functionality we have to prioritize? Anyone?
Maybe the login button.
Yes, brother. That's correct. Anyhow, it's not my decision. Okay, and it's not product owner decision also. In agile, it's team decision. Whatever the team decide, right? We have to go with that actually.
Like I
and
can say,
and uh,
safety is more. First, we have to work on safety, then we'll move to login button.
Okay.
no,
So
again you see this will like Safir said that it will be a team decision. Product owner will share a prioritized list of features. Let's say we are in a sprint planning meeting, or maybe we have a product backlog. The one that Safir is showing, you can take it like a product backlog, which has a, you can say, prioritized list of features. And when the team sets, I hope everyone knows that the team includes the product owner, the development team, and the scrum master. So when they set, the product owner defines the features, and based on those features, and he also defines some user stories. The team discusses that, they understand the user stories, and once the user stories are clear, so what they do estimation of how much effort that will require, that particular user story will require, and then they do user story pointing, and based on that estimation and user story pointing, so then what we do, we uh, prioritize the backlog and bring that product backlog into our sprint backlog, and on that we start working during our sprint. So this is how it goes, and I hope this is what Safir was also trying to explain.
Mhm. Yeah, you're right, brother. Actually, like whatever the brother Imran said, right? Like there's like first the planning phase, and then sprint backlog refinement. So for I'll go to the next one actually, and then sprint planning will be there, and then daily standard, and then sprint review, and after that retro. So that's the cycle actually where all the agile team will follow. So now what we are in that, we are in the PI planning phase actually. So in PI planning, we will prioritize the work actually, and once we prioritize the work, then we'll go to the particular epic or feature. We'll open that and we'll discuss like what we have to work on that particular feature, which field we have to validate, which information we have to add, what are the databases, what are the dependencies with other teams. So that's what we have to discuss in the particular feature. But first, in the planning, actually, PI planning, first we have to find out like which are the features which we are going to work in the particular sprint and the priority. So that's what I'm doing here.
Safir bhai, I think safety should be the priority too. As priority one, we have designed the homepage. Then we need to work on the safety of our page to and we have to make sure that it do not get hacked. So for me, safety should be the second priority, and then we can work on login button, because login button will have the databases in the backend of you in the backend. It will contain the user information, emails, password. So we have we have to safeguard that information. So safety should be our second priority.
Okay. What about others? So this is not my decision. I cannot take any decision. As a Scrum Master, I don't have authorized to take a decision, but I can facilitate, let other decide and let know like which are the priority actually. And same for product owner can just implement actually, and they can say that, okay, this is like customer is asking this one, but team has to decide which one they have to go. So you're saying like
So
say,
just to evoke some thought process on this, safety is obviously something that will remain there throughout. I mean, this is where we are designing the home page only right now. Uh, and maybe we have all right, Sabir, the scenario that you are presenting, it has only one page or more pages as well.
okay, sorry, safety in the sense like not the product safety actually. This is for the customer safety information actually. Just like, okay, avoid this in the home, avoid that in the home. That's safety actually.
Okay, no. I'm asking that the product that you are presenting
Mhm.
here, it has only one page or it has more pages as well.
Two pages actually. This is the one page actually. The home page is one, and
Okay,
accounts is actually one more. Actually. Account detail page is one more page, where you
okay,
can go and see your account information, how much you have used, what are the bill. That's all for this
okay.
PI.
Okay, so safety is something, although this is one tab, you can say, safety related information, like you need to follow these guidelines to remain safe or whatever. But what others are perceiving is the safety of the whole this web-based application or web page, that user login information is remains safe and it does not get hacked or something like this. So, uh, so safety will be something, or it will be a kind of feature that you
Security.
will need on both pages.
Okay. Okay. Security, right?
So yes.
Okay.
I'm so when people are talking about that our priority is safety or security of the feature, so that this is something that will come on in that will be you can take it as an epic kind of thing, because it will spill over to other in sprints as well.
Mm, okay.
And
Yeah,
now
this
here
is
we are.
this is the one I expecting actually. Like what our brother Imran is saying, right? So epic cut actually. So we don't have any epic. It's not like whatever we have actually only thing we have to go. No, based on the discussion among the team, if they feel actually we have to add one more epic or feature or any stories, then we have to bring out in the planning. So that's what sprint planning is there. Is that correct, Imran, brother Imran?
Yes, so to
Okay.
make things simple, let's say we decide on that we first need the design of the homepage as a
Mhm.
feature, and
Okay.
then we take it as the login button as the feature that we want to prioritize. And Again, this will depend on how much complex or level of effort is needed here, and then the team will do story pointing.
Mhm.
And again, the velocity comes in, that how much work you can take into one sprint,
Yeah.
and based on that, you will go into your sprint plan.
Mm.
So this is how things work.
Okay. Let me move this. Okay, we have to move this one, right? So okay, now we have discussed about the product actually and the feature and a picker. So we already on time actually 10:50. I was planning to stop discussion on the product. Okay, now which feature we have to plan for the features actually, or pick which sprint we have to do. So now we have product, right? Sprint 1.1 will do this design homepage. Yes, it will carry forward. It will be spread across the sprint, but still we have to plan for that. Suggestion?
Yes, I am okay with it. I think this should be the one that we should start from in the first sprint.
Hmm. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Team. Others also can. Others have to suggest actually. It's not only me or Scrum Master or product owner. It's a team actually. So that's what I want to make sure that like everybody participate here.
Yes, we can go with these three features.
Okay.
So then when the increment completed, we can see. Good.
Okay. Let me do one thing. Okay, this thing I'm not going to do actually now. I'm just like, for example, I put it actually. We have to put like all in the backlog actually. I forgot to create the backlog here itself. Otherwise, that will be easy for us actually. But now we have decided that in the sprint we are going to do the design part and login button to start with, as well as security to start with. Okay. So now that
Sameer,
sprint planning
Sameer,
is done.
one small question. Go
Yeah.
back to the previous slide. This we are discussing for sprint one, right?
Uh, Actually, the whole epic or features, right, whichever I put, right, that is the backlog. I didn't create the backlog, so that's the reason I put it in sprint point 1.1. But
Uh,
everything
Uh,
will be moved.
you can take this sprint 1.1 as your product
Back.
backlog
So product
initially.
backlog. Okay. And
Okay,
then where we are putting
and now
1.2, basically this is sprint one.
yes, you can take it like this as well. But Safir, what if we can we change the heading there?
No, that's the problem, brother
Okay,
Imran. This is a free tool, right? Once we create it, we cannot able to change.
okay, no problem. So let's take this sprint 1.1 as our product backlog,
Mhm.
and sprint 1.2 as our sprint 1.1.
1.1.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
let's take it like this. And whatever left in sprint 1.1 after we move items to our first sprint, that will be our product backlog.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
now
that
this
will
is
be
our
better.
product backlog, the initial product backlog that you can say the product owner is bringing to you, and now you are deciding based on the level of effort and your story pointing. The as a team, we have decided that these are the two uh, features that we are going to work on in this sprint, or
Mhm.
maybe we can add the safety one as well.
Okay.
And the rest is now our product backlog. Uh,
To answer one question, that if suppose it's the start of a project and we get a product out, so how do we estimate like for a sprint backlog that what about the velocity? This is our first sprint, and how come we estimate our velocity if, so we can features into coming sprint backlog or sprint review?
Mhm. There is something called whenever we start any new project, right? There is something called sprint zero, where they'll not consider any velocity. Okay, they'll start the work and they'll see how the work will be go. Based on the baseline, they'll just keep okay. Based on the team member, okay, they have like 40 points, 40 velocity point or 45 velocity point. Those kind of information. So that's how first measurable will be happen in sprint zero. Plus all the other work like what are the document, DOD, the definition of then, definition of ready, everything will be planned on sprint zero. So that's what we used to do. But others, if others have any other suggestion, also can chime in.
And we can also use expert judgment as well based on past experiences with the similar kind of user stories. Maybe we have done it earlier as well. So this is what estimation is all about, that when team sets the development team, it is a development team that estimates the level of effort required to deliver those user stories. So they, based on their past experience, maybe you can have some expert judgment as well. uh, and then you can do some kind of consensus based estimation, and based on that you can do story pointing as well. This can be an option, and as Safir said, you can plan a sprint zero where you are just trying to identify how much it is actually going to, or it is called, maybe I think it is called a spike as well, uh,
But
where
the
you
spike
can.
for the mainly use we for
Stories.
specifically you can for any risk or any issue
Yes, so
or any
again,
conflict.
velocity can be taken like this, that if you are not sure, so you can estimate maybe velocity using it. But again, sprint zero, you can use that as well, uh, as a starting or reference point to move forward.
So we also can go through from lesson learned.
Yes, we can go through, but most of the time, first in the first PI when the project start, right, management doesn't care about velocity because everybody knows that it's a new team, new effort. Actually, they're learning. Actually, velocity will be less. Velocity will be more. Actually, in my experience, actually, I saw like the team used to do like 70 or 80 velocity point, the story points, and then suddenly they have did 15 also in one of the sprint, and then next sprint like 20. So that's like it's like up and down. So first PI, most of the management doesn't care about velocity, just for information. But some, if some management want actually velocity to be care, then they can use the sprint zero or lesson learned or like whatever the information they have at the time.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem. Okay, now the next one is that we already plan actually. Okay, one more thing actually. In the PI, management want to release to plan incremental release within the PI. That means that they have to deploy in the prod within like after 2 sprint or 3 sprint. Okay, how should we do that? We have to plan that as well, also, right? So this is like how Agile works actually. It's not like only we have to go by particular thing actually. Anything can come up at any time, and we have to plan and adjust based on our sprint. So that's why I'm bringing this point now.
Can you come again? What was the your query? I'm sorry, I could not hear it.
No problem, brother. Okay, what management want is that, okay, they don't want all the code should be deployed in PI end of the PI one. Okay, in between itself they want to deploy into the prod but not active. You got the point, brother Imran? Like dark release. Do you know dark release? Okay, I think I'm confusing. Let me avoid that one. I'll bring that one later.
It's more of a prototype thing, dark release.
Yes. We'll deploy in the prod, but it will not work actually till we activate that feature.
Kind of beta kind of version, you can say.
Beta we can use, some users can use, but anyhow, I'm confusing this one. Okay, I'll bring it this later. Okay, sorry. Let's not waste our time on this one. Okay, the management want end-to-end product should be released on PI3. Okay, so now we are discussed like
there is no incremental delivery in between.
No, end-to-end means like first PI I already said, right? Actually, we have to deliver the home page and then log in the account page.
Okay.
The first PI.
But rolling over the entire thing will happen at the end of sprint 3.
Entire end-to-end product. The management want end-to-end product should be on deliver in PI3. But before that itself, there will be a releases which will happen in PI1 and PI2. The first PI, they want home page and account page to be in prod actually, that user can start using.
Okay, okay, got it.
Okay. So okay, so
I have
we
a
are already
question.
this brother.
Where do we place our stakeholder identification, communication management in this sprint? Obviously, when we are planning the our planning our first sprint, we also have to identify our stakeholders and to create some sort of management plan as well. It is also the part of agile, I think. So where it will come in
That's
the
all comes in sprint 0. So in
okay.
sprint 0, everything will be discussed in sprint 0, and before that actually there will be a gray area or gray days actually. Some companies will use sprint 0, some companies use the gray period before start of the sprint. They will discuss and they will identify all these things before we start of the sprint actually. So what we did is that actually, what are the stakeholder, like what are the customers actually, like demo, when they demo, all these things we have planned in sprint 0. We have worked on sprint 0. We there is no deliverable in sprint 0. This is the only thing we have discussed actually. We have planned for that.
Okay, okay.
Okay, next one is that once we plan actually, we have to refine that backlog. So what we have to do is that now we have identified that this is going to work in actually. Now we have to use this epic or feature, and then we have to create a stories actually. Okay, like for example, what are the things we need to finish this feature or epic? So that we have to create in the stories. There will be like around 10 stories or 15 stories or 5 stories is based on the epic or feature. So now we have to discuss to create the stories. I don't have that Jira tool. That's not downloaded actually here. Otherwise, it will be easy to show you where from a backlog to create the story. It will be easy actually. But I'll send you the screenshot. It will be easy to understand. Now we have to create the user story. Okay.
Okay, I have one query here.
Mhm.
Um, this user story creation or definition. Now I think we are talking about the sprint planning part.
Uh,
So,
yes.
what, and obviously we are trying to understand what practically happens. Theory, maybe in theory things are different, practically things are different. So, uh, when we have a initial product backlog and we have a
Mhm.
certain set of prioritized list of features. So before starting the, let's say, before taking features into our sprint plan, uh, don't we, in practicality, we define the user stories earlier, and based on that, we do the estimation story pointing, and then based on team's capacity, we pull user stories into our sprint backlog.
Yes, brother. So this is the title is sprint planning, okay? But this is we're still in that PI planning, and that
Okay,
actually,
okay.
yeah. So
Okay,
the I
really,
know
these headings are honestly
no.
confusing.
This is that the problem is the free tool. You don't have much information you can edit, right?
Uh, no, no problem.
So
No problem.
whatever I
I
just
hope I hope people are getting the idea what Safir is trying to educate us all about. You need to show some maybe appreciation, or maybe if you give some feedback. And if you are not, because this will help in understanding Agile a lot.
yeah. Let all the member participate. It's not only one or two. This is not the session for demo. It's just to participate actually.
Yes, and keep it interactive. Try to uh, clarify any confusion if you have, and don't worry about the timing. If we are not able to complete it today, maybe we can plan half-hour session, 1 hour session some other day as well.
Okay, just give some example so that I'm not going to go in depth on this story one or two, three. Just give one example. Okay, if you see here the homepage.
I, I think Safir is better. You can if you can present in some presentation form. It's much better
Oh, okay, you need in
because
presentation.
yes, same like Sir Zafar that it would took a time. That if everybody puts in their you can say you can points or enter their opinion, that it will take a time.
Okay. Okay. The reason why I'm doing is that, right? So everybody can understand easily, actually. But yeah, I can do that also. I can, in the next session, actually, I'll put the features and I'll explain more. Okay. Um but as of now, I'll do one thing for story, actually. Main, okay. This is like in depth, actually. We have to write the acceptance in the story. We'll write the acceptance. Acceptance AC. This is the main, actually, in every story. Like what exactly you have to do. There will be a format, actually, which I'll send you later. Given when there will be like profana, which we have to use in stories, actually, and then there will be like the developer consideration in the story. This is like for menu. If you take menu, right, there will be like more information we have to add in the story, and then developer consideration, then testing consideration, then external dependencies. For example, if we are dependent on the infrastructure team to enable this website, so that also a dependency. So that's all the thing we have to put in the story, actually. So and then the second story is like I'm just putting like a menu here, but for menu itself there will be like example 5 to 10 story will be there. Like we have to split in each and every part, actually, and then that's how agiles work. And then next story, so if you go here, actually, we'll see like, okay, the header should be there, and footer will be there. So header, okay, and then footer. So same thing, like actually we have to create the stories, actually, and then there will be like a contact text.
So again, user story, if we all remember that what there is criteria, or you can say a template as a user, whatever you are. I want this functionality so that I can do this with it. This is how user stories are defined. So this is what Safir is trying to explain here, that for every part, you can say every part of your user story, or every part of your this web page, you have a user story associated to it, that this is how my header should look like, this is how the footer should be because I want this functionality, this is how the contact us should look like, this is how it should work. Maybe some of these have mini stories in between, or you can say menu is a feature, and in menu you want this functionality. So and within those functionality you can again have some user stories. So you can see that it is a kind of the complexity is there, and you need to identify the features and the user stories in a proper way to have a clear understanding, all right, how much effort will be needed to deliver this functionality, and like this.
Yeah, same thing here also. Login button, story tool. There will be many more stories, actually, but I'm just giving an example, like high level example. Password, then story 3, help sign in, okay, and then story 4.
Forget password, maybe the one.
Forget password. Yes, you're right. Forget password.
Forget username.
Yes, that's also story. Yes, you're right, brother. Everything will be a separate story. We should not combine for login button, right? You shouldn't combine like forget user in this story. It should be a separate story. Forget login. Anything else you can add here?
Cover account,
Sorry.
account recovery.
Account recovery will come in this forget login and forget password, right?
Yeah, it could be a mini story for story 4 and story 5.
Okay. Yes, account recovery. Forget login, then account
Register
recovery.
button, register, existing
Okay, sign
and
in
like
button, right?
your, yeah,
Sign
existing
in.
and like new user or you are just existing.
New
Okay.
user registration.
Yeah, that is sign up.
Hmm.
New users. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Actually, this is the format. Actually, like we have to create like each and every pieces of the functionality. And now, then if okay, for example, if one of the users need to interact with the other team to get some kind of security information, then for that also you have to create a story.
So this is specific information regarding stories. So it's between the team to decide, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Anything. Okay, for example, if you need any KT, that also you should knowledge transfer with somebody, or like you need a knowledge transfer within a team member. That also you should have to create a story. Connection. Okay, this is just an example I'm giving. Okay, so now we have a stories. Okay, so now we have a stories in design homepage, and we have a stories in the button page. And now once we decided this one, actually, either in PI planning itself, if we got time, we can start backlog refinement session, and then we can start creating a story point. Okay, for example, now I know this is like big. Okay, I'll take some example. Okay, I'll take actually the story which we are using, actually login button. Okay, so in the backlog story refinement, we have to story point. We have to discuss the story, and we have to story point. For story point, actually, there will be lots of tool actually available. Uh, Many free tools also available. So now what we use is actually Scrumpy. This is very easy, and then there will be a number actually 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. So this is the standard format story point number where across multiple organizations using. There will be like the other companies will use like t-shirt sizing, like small, medium, large, or extra large, or otherwise Fibonacci series actually. So now we are using the regular number like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. Okay, we
So
have
again,
discussed.
coming back to the now that you have, let's say the user stories are defined. Now they are
Mhm.
very well defined. You have the uh, definition of done, except what you call it, acceptance criteria, definition of ready well. So now you are ready to estimate the effort required against those user stories. So this is what Safi is trying to explain now.
Yeah,
Am I right,
yes, sir.
Safir?
Yeah, you are right, brother. Actually, I was waiting for some other also to chime in. You are right. Okay, uh, I'll send you this link actually. Can you log in? Actually, there is no need to sign in actually. So let's see. Let's do some story pointing for this one, and I'll show you like how we have to discuss on that story pointers. Okay. Yeah, I have posted the link in the chat.
So now it is the development team. The you guys have to do the story pointing. Me and Safir, I guess, can relax.
Yes, that's that's correct actually. Yeah.
So Safir has shared the link in comment box, so you guys can maybe log in there and you can open your mics and then you can decide. But try to do it quickly. Obviously, this is something we are just trying to understand. So aim is to agree on a specific number
Mhm.
against any user story. let's
Yes.
say 1 or 2 user stories, and then we move forward with the story pointing part.
Mhm. And when we story point, right, we'll not have much time. Either it will be like 10 second or 15 second or 20 second max actually. So now what I'm doing is that I'll go the standard 10 second time. Once everybody join, I'll start the clock.
Only name need to be written or other detail also? They are
So
asking some
yeah, you have to point
room.
it actually.
Room, please choose a room or leave empty to create. There's no
What is the
need to
code?
mention. They get new room. They mention to enter the room name.
No, not new room actually. So I
Okay,
already,
okay. Only name I put and then poker now.
yes, it's only name, only your name.
Only name. Okay.
Okay, to story point actually, let me give like a small information like what exactly we are story pointing. So this is like login, right? So login in the sense like, okay, I'll just go into overview. We have to enter the username or email. We have to enter the password, and we have to click the sign in. So when we click the sign in, it will go to the home page of the user. Okay, that's what we have to do in that particular story. You have to enter the name. You have to enter the password. When you click the sign in button, it will go navigate to the home page of the user. So this is for sign in button actually. So sign in button functionality. Okay, let me start the clock actually. Uh, if you are ready, you can start voting now. You'll have only 10 seconds. Okay, I see Kamran, brother Kamran, Khawar, Musaddiq, Samad, brother Samad, brother Tawfiq.
Okay, you can start the. I think you can start the timer. Let's do it quickly.
No, I
Just
already started. Only 1 second left actually.
okay.
So I paused that one.
So I hope everyone has selected the number. Power is left, I guess. Samad is left. Fakir left.
Okay, then I will do one thing. Let me complete this one. Okay, now we see an average. I see like 3 votes for 5, 2 votes for 3, and 1 vote for 8. Okay. So as a facilitator, I have to discuss with all the member, and we have to come to the conclusion that this story will be the particular point. Okay. Let me start with the big number. Brother Suhail, you have given 8 point story. Your
Yes.
suggestion or opinion?
Because this is, it's a main thing. We have to enter all the user data here, and we know there is a lot of user data, and we have to particular and individual data we have to enter. I think it's long, lengthy work. So that's why I put a little more point for there.
Okay. One more thing also, everybody can consider. This is the first sprint. You will not have much knowledge actually on the system or like application or how infrastructure works. So at that time, you can give like more point also as a backup. So there is nothing harm actually on that. Okay. Okay. Now, Ganesh has given 3. Ali, brother Ali has given 3. Brother Ganesh, brother Ali.
Yes, Safir. My reasoning is simply because there's 3 tasks to be done. So by that, I just gave 3 points.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brother Ali. Musaddiq Ali. Okay, I'll come back to him later. I see like 5. Kamran, Rizwan, and Rizwan has given. Noman has given 5. Kamran, Noman, and Rizwan. Your opinion for why you have given 5? Just like one line is fine actually. It's not like we have to answer it.
Brother, we are not developers, so no comment from my side.
Okay, who's this
I
brother?
just Nomani.
Okay, see,
So
whatever brother said, right?
five is
That
the
is a perfect
five
answer.
is
That is a
five is
perfect
not
answer.
even a high
Uh,
or not at the lower end. So I thought it would be the safest option.
yes, brother, you are right, absolutely right. Okay, if you don't know, if you are not sure, actually, we just give a point and we can say actually in that sprint planning or refinement, I don't have much knowledge, so I'll go with the others, and this is what I thought, so I have given. So whatever the brother said, right, is perfect answer. So there is no harm in that. So that's what transparency comes actually in agile. Okay, what about brother Kamran? This one.
I have given 5 because it has some other points like login button, and then we will go to sign in and entering email, password. It has approximately 5 entries, so I give them 5.
Okay, okay. Now this is brother Rizwan has answered, right?
Yes, I am Rizwan.
Okay. So brother Kamran, I'll tell you why I'm going with each and every person. Okay. Once brother Kamran finished that his opinion, brother Kamran. Okay. I think I'll come back to him later. Okay. Based on the discussion, actually, I see like we have a work actually, and this is like first sprint also. So as a facilitator, okay, this is my suggestion based on the discussion from all the other member. Uh, I'll go for 8 actually. This is so any objection if we go for 8 on this story?
No
Why,
objection from
why do
my
you
side.
choose 8?
Sorry.
Yes,
Ganesh, I was wondering why do you opt for 8?
Okay. The reason for why is that this is the first sprint actually we are starting. We don't have much information on the infrastructure side. Okay, we have to do connection also with the team, and then we have to build. We have to get the information from the database. Okay, there will be many factors. As this is first sprint, and we don't have our software also in our local machine actually. So those, everything will consider actually. So that's the reason I have suggested 8 actually. If you feel actually if you have strong belief that it should be 3 or 5, then let's discuss.
But Safir, don't you think that that should be some consensus based on the team? As a Scrum Master, you are deciding on it,
No, I'm not deciding. I'm suggesting. I said this is my
suggesting. Okay,
suggestion.
okay, okay. That's fine.
Yeah, that,
So now the
that's what I
team.
started actually.
Yes.
I said
So now
actually
the,
this is my suggestion. You
okay,
others can decide.
okay. So now the act two. So the final decision should be coming from the team.
Yes,
The team needs to decide what story point they agree upon this particular story. So it's
yes.
your turn, team. Do it quickly.
Yeah, and brother Ganesh has brought a good point actually, and that's how the story point will be there. He asked like why, and that's what actually the discussion will happen in the story point. It's not like simply okay, somebody said 5, somebody said 3, somebody said 8. We just directly go and say like no, that's not going to happen actually. So this is the discussion among the team actually, and now Ganesh asked right like why you think it's 8, and same thing actually in sprint. Story pointing, people will ask, okay, why you have given the 5? Can you explain? Which he doesn't know actually. For example, if I don't know anything actually, and it's 5, I'm confused. Okay, why he has given 5? So that we can also learn actually. So that's how we can learn actually from among the team member. It's not only story point. It's to know all the information what exactly happening in the particular story and for why we have given like 5 or 3 or 8. So you got it, brothers? Why we are doing story
Yes,
point?
got it.
Okay, Safir bhai, can we like everybody give the number and everybody explain?
Mm-hmm.
Then rather to again debate, we can ask team now you understand. We already people given the point of view. Let's do it again. and then maybe we can have more 5 or more 8 or more 3, and then it's easy to decide rather
Yes,
to discuss, and then maybe it will take more time.
that happened
Now
with
that you guys have given the story points, now you need to discuss and agree on something. If you do not agree on something, then maybe we can start the second round again.
Yeah, that's correct actually. Whatever Brother Imran said, right? The second round will mostly will never happen unless there will be some issues with the team member that they said strongly feel that okay, this is 5. Some others said this is 3 only. Some others said it's only 8. At that time, we'll go for the second round. But if team
Why I'm
agree,
saying
discuss.
the team always, somebody has to decide. I mean, team is people of 10 people. So who will say yes? I mean, this is always a difficult task to put, all 10 people will, it will time consuming. Rather, if already people explained, then break second round, and then it will be maybe consensus already developed.
Can I tell you
You
one more
have
thing?
to,
In
you can
second round
use
also, it will get same actually most of the time.
you can use Fist of Five and other tools like if you agree on this pointing or not. Let's say uh, let's do it right now. Safir is suggesting as a Scrum Master that let's go for 8 as the number. So whoever is agreed to it, you can like Fist to 5. You can show all your 5 fingers, or maybe 4, 3, 2, 1, and then this is how we can reach to consensus maybe on this.
Mhm.
Right,
So
sir.
that's what I asked, brother. When I started, right? Okay, this is my suggestion. Based on the discussion with all the member, there will be a lot of work, and there will be external information we have to get, external dependencies. So my suggestion is 8. Let know if other feels. So brother Ganesh has said actually he's asking the good question why, and that's how we have to discuss. And I explained okay, this is like because of this infrastructure environment issue, a new sprint actually people doesn't know what exactly to. So then if he agree with that, then he'll say okay, I'm fine with that. If he's not agree, then we have to discuss more. So that's how story point will be built actually. So now my next question is, Ganesh, do you agree or like you have still you have any question? And nobody should
Uh,
force you on that to change the story point. So that's one of the things.
got it. Yeah. With your explanation, I agree going with 8 story point.
Oh, okay, yeah. And now as a scrum master, right, and as a facilitator, if scrum master is not there, anybody can be facilitator and anybody can run this show actually. So what exactly I used to do is that okay, final call. Any objection on 8? No.
Nothing from my side. I have agreed to it.
Okay.
Yes, I also agree to it, Kamran here.
Okay. What
Yep,
about others?
I agree to 8 as well.
Okay.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Agreed to it.
Okay. So now I told you right why I'm asking each and everybody. This is for a transparency, and this is like respect to all the each every member. And it's not like only one or two member can take a decision. In last class actually last week, Brother Imran was saying that okay, everybody should have equal rights actually in the team. So that's how Agile will implement. So that's the reason I'll go with each and every member and ask actually until they're satisfied. Okay, it's not like okay there will be a team like two developer will be the top developer, they perform well. No, not the if they say 3 and other developer will say 5, I'll go for 5 only because they doesn't know and they'll try to learn actually. So that's how you have to go on each and every member and you have to check and until they are satisfied. Now we have got like 8, all our conclusion that 8 will be good for this particular story. So this is like small that play for story pointing. We have to do like each and every day actually. So any question on story pointing, brother? Okay, I'll take it as a no. Okay, we already in time actually. We already more than 10 minutes actually. We have to stop at like 10 minutes back. So what I'll do is that I'll plan for next session if everybody like this session, or if everybody if you need we'll continue this session like next time. Let know your thoughts We have still like story pointing backlog. We did actually little bit. Then sprint planning we have to do, and then daily stand up, sprint review we have to do. Like you let me know whether we can continue this session or like you like it or not. Then we can discuss uh, whether we will go for the next session like whenever we get time. So I know like it's fast actually because I don't have time and others also you also doesn't have time because it's already late for everybody.
Okay, I have one query, Safir.
Yes, brother.
What we have done till now, we have, let's say, selected some features,
Mhm.
defined the user stories, and at the exercise that we just did, it was about the uh, estimation of effort, or we have done the story pointing as well here.
No, it's only we did a story pointing. We have not done the efforts actually for the efforts which people are doing. Sorry, not people. Team member are going to do in the sprint. That is the next part actually.
Okay.
We're still in the PI
Oh,
planning. So that's what I said. In PI planning, once we discuss the future, once we discuss what exactly we have to do with sprint, when we have time actually, we'll start the future story pointing itself. We create the user story and we start the story pointing itself actually.
this is not the story point.
No, no, this is the story pointer. That's what there are two planning. Okay, one is the
Hmm.
PI planning, another is the sprint planning.
Ah,
PI
but
planning is for
same
3 weeks.
same thing. But this is the level of effort. Both the thing. I mean, what we have given is based on we think this is the level of effort. This is the story point, the level of efforts.
Okay, there are two types of effort actually. One is the story pointing effort. Another is that sprint planning effort is also there. We have to plan that also.
Mm-hmm.
So, brother
So
Imran,
suppose
you're asking for story pointing effort or like a sprint planning effort?
Actually, I was trying to ensure that maybe people are getting it like this, that we are doing it, the story pointing for the sprint.
Hmm.
But what we have, if correct me if I am wrong, what we are doing at this stage, that uh, we are doing the, let's say, the story pointing, or the estimating the level of effort required against all the story points that we have, and from that we move to our sprint planning part, and then based on that, the story pointing that we are doing here, when we go into the sprint planning part, there we will pick stories from this product increment, and depending on how much we can deliver in one sprint as a team, we will pick stories from here, and then that will become our sprint backlog, on which we will work on that particular sprint. This is
Yeah.
how we are going to do it, Safir.
Yes, yes, that's the same thing I'm doing, brother. That's what I'm doing actually.
So that's why I asked the question, so to evoke the thought process, and let everyone know in which stage we are at this point, because I uh, assumed, and I think I was right, that most of the people took it like that we are doing the story pointing for the sprint planning part, but this
Okay.
is not the stage where we are right now.
Hmm.
Right, sir. You rightly
all right.
asked the question. We all,
Yes.
at least I am also thinking the same because we already dragged it, the feature in the sprint one. So we
All
thought,
right.
okay, this is now for the sprint one only.
Mhm. So
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
story pointing, this creation of the story pointing, right? That can be done in the PI planning as well, or if you are not done in the PI planning, we'll do in the sprint planning also, or sprint refinement backlog also. There are three ceremonies where we can do story pointing and discuss on the stories. Any or the three ceremonies. It's not only we have to do in the backlog refinement, not only in the sprint planning. We can do if you have time in the PI planning, we can do in the PI planning also. So we have three opportunities to do this story discussion and story pointing in three ceremonies. You got brother Suhail? You are good on that?
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. I think I'll stop now. We'll discuss like if you want next session or like how we have to go with that. Brother Imran, over to you, brother Imran.
Yes, I think this is a very excellent kind of session where it will help a lot in understanding the whole this agile planning process and stuff. I hope everyone is will be looking forward to the next session. And I honestly thank you a lot for bringing this to the table because this is something unique. And most of the people here, we are not that obviously uh, not into agile on a practical level, so that will help a lot. And just one point I want you to clarify to everybody else that like you said that we can do the sprint planning at different stages as well, but the way you are trying to explain that the user story pointing at the product increment level, so this will help in doing a story pointing level at a higher level. Uh, and that story pointing at this stage will help you more when you are into your sprint planning phase, where based on your capacity, based on the experience of the team, you can better pick story points based on the priority to deliver during that particular sprint if you have that high level working already available with you for your consumption. Am I right, Safir?
Yes, brother. Yeah, yes, you're right. Actually, we will do like it's that's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like we have to go the same process only. Yes, what our brother Imran saying, right? Like it's different ways also, but yes, we can do that also.
Okay, so thanks a lot again, Safir. So
No problem.
now
Yeah.
I think everyone is willing to attend the remaining part of it. So it's up to you if you can do it tomorrow, maybe, or whenever you feel like it. You let us know. Tomorrow we will be covering procurement part, and I am hoping that like we did today, that we finished the quality part earlier. So I am assuming that we will be doing the same tomorrow as well.
Sure, brother. Once if we complete tomorrow early, actually, we'll try to cover some other part also.
Okay, fine with me. I hope everyone else is also aligned to it.
Yes, sir. Sir, when you share the slides, can you just mark the correct answers?
Yes, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, guys. So I think it's time to take leave.
Okay, let me know if you're able to see my screen. Okay, thank you. Um, let's have a healthy discussion. It's not like only one way. From like yesterday, we had some good questions actually, and we had some little bit good interaction as well. But I want everybody to participate. So that's what I'm doing is actually it's not only for me or it's only for few people. Okay.
And guys, remember one thing. I am the product owner. Safir is a Scrum Master, and all others are development team.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Brother Imran is right. Okay. Can somebody tell me like what is the development team consist of?
It's a core team who is
Cross
working on a project
cross.
to deliver user stories or the deliverables.
Mm-hmm. Okay. There will be a role actually. Like everybody should have some roles actually. The team. Is Ganesh is saying something?
No, go ahead, Safi. I was
Okay.
thinking it's more about we are talking about team matrices, weak balance, and all those things. Cross-functional. Is that what you're referring to?
Mhm. Yeah, somewhat, some kind of like that actually. Actually, I'm from IT background, so I don't know how other industry work. But I'll tell you the example, okay, from IT side. The development team consists of uh, developer, testers, business analyst, okay, or like infrastructure engineer, anybody, okay. But role will be different, but everybody will consist of the development team only. So that's why we call it development team. Can someone tell like what's the Scrum team? Who all consist of Scrum team? We have gone through in like again session or third session about this one. Can anyone?
Or you guys can take it as a team as well. If you
Yeah.
forget about the word Scrum,
Scrum. Okay. Sorry.
you tell
So the
about what is it, what is team.
Scrum team consists of product owner, Scrum master, and development team.
Yes is one. That's correct actually. So Scrum team is like whole team actually, which minus stakeholder. Only the team which we are working on the product. So that's correct is one. Okay. Uh, Let me go yesterday. Yesterday we have seen that PI planning. Ganesh has suggested to go to the board which Brother Imran has sent us actually. That's a good idea actually. It will helpful for me also actually to go through. So till this one actually, this all will like predefined. I mean that pre-work actually before we start the sprint zero. Okay, that will be taken care by project manager and management side. Okay, this all this thing. But what I'm doing is that I'm doing the classes here from this actually product backlog, the release schedule, sprint backlogs. That's from agile side. I'm doing actually. So product backlog. Yesterday I told right actually we have this product to be built. Okay, and the goal is to complete in 3 releases, 3 PI. So if you see in this flow, see here, there will be a release planning meeting. Okay, there will be a release schedule. The content is PO along with the development team will decide how many releases, how many sprint in each releases, and sprint duration. Okay, this is like why I'm bringing up this, right? This is based on the company wise actually. Some company will have the release train lead actually who will decide how many releases, how many sprints, and what are the when will the release actually. But some company will let them the team decide actually like Scrum team will decide like how many releases per PI, I mean that per year, and how many release sprint per PI. So now we already decided that if you go here, we already decided that per year we have 4 PI. Every PI will have 6 sprints. Okay. And I'm not going to talk about this with this confusion. And then the company, I mean that the stakeholder or customer asking us to end-to-end product release should be on the PI 3, which will be the third PI. Okay. Any question till now?
If you can clarify the team that if you go back to the other window, yes, if you just clarify the people that you have written as a PI, there will be 4 PIs in a year, I guess. And we are talking about end of product end-to-end release in PI 3. So what does this mean?
Okay. Okay. Let's ask others actually if anybody have any idea on that. Let's have an interactive session. Can someone?
As per my perception, PI overall there are 4 PIs in a year. It means we have 12 months. So end-to-end product should release on the PI 3 means we have 9 months to complete the product.
Yes, absolutely correct. That's what actually that mean actually.
Yep. Yeah, PI more like a quarter.
Yes, that's correct actually. PI is a quarterly release, like 3 months. Okay, so the other brother said they're like pay 3 months, like third quarter, we have to finish the end-to-end product in the third quarter. Yeah, that's correct.
And what will be
Everybody's clear on
doing
this?
and what we will be doing in the fourth PI?
Okay, that's a good question, brother, and that's what actually that's the release plan. Okay, but fourth PI we will get the product or we'll get the work actually from the product owner. Okay, as you are the product owner, and you have to plan actually, and you can plan whether it will be now or it will be after 3 months or after 4 months or like after mid-year actually. So it's up to you. You have to bring the business actually to the team. Is that clear?
Honestly, I didn't get it.
Okay. What usually do is that actually, we got the product, right? So what product owner will decide actually when we have a 4 PI, 3 PI will release the product, but 4 PI maintenance and production support.
Yes,
Because
now it makes sense. For training, for the rolling out, for maybe training to the other stakeholders, stuff like this.
yes, there will be lots of issue will come once we release the product. So that we have to plan ahead actually.
Okay, so post-release kind of activities.
Yes, yes. So that's called like maintenance and production support.
Okay,
I
okay.
got from your point that in three quarters, after 3 quarters, we will release a beta version.
No, there is no beta version. I said like end-to-end product release should be on PI3. That means that final product. Final release will be on the PI3. And then whatever the final product releasing, right? For that maintenance and support will be on the PI4 from PI4. Does
Okay.
it make sense, brother?
So sorry, Safir. If end-to-end product is done on PI3, wouldn't it go to operations after that?
Yes, okay. That's how you call like maintenance support, brother.
Okay.
Yeah, I know like based on the industry, the term will be different. Brother Imran, correct me, like you can actually interpret the that terms actually, which I'm telling to the other. So that's correct, right, Imran, brother Imran? Operation is like for like an IT, we use like maintenance support.
Yeah, it depends on industry to industry, like you said. So, just for the sake of understanding, what we can take it at, oh, all right, you are releasing the product at the end of PI3, but then for the fourth quarter, you may have kept it for some, let's say, for some training, for
User training.
user training, rolling out all the things properly. If any issues happen in between, to cater those activities, and maybe uh, as a buffer as well,
Yeah.
just in case during the course of this 9 months some requirements arise that may uh, require more time, so you can have a buffer, let's say, of 3 quarters of 3 months, and you can utilize that as well, depending on the changes in scope. So keeping it simple, you can take it as a buffer period or training period, or any post-release issues that may happen to resolve those issues. Because in ultimately in Agile, what is our main aim? We want to deliver value. So whatever we are delivering should give the intended value. And you may take this last quarter as some kind of training and stuff like these kind of things as a buffer.
Yeah. I'll give one more example. Okay. For example, we as a company, we are an IT company, right? Like now for all the PMP member, like whoever we have here, consider as like IT company, okay? And we are taking the project from CoServe. CoServe is a customer, okay? And they have given the project actually to us to be delivered in the this year actually, like 2024. and they have given us actually for four. I mean that this year means like 4 PI. We have to plan for that, and 4 PI they asked us to release on the PI 3. That means the third quarter. After that, there is something called warranty period. Okay, where the customer that IT company will give support for the next 3 months, so that everything will be on smooth operation. There will be no issue on that. There will be no issue from the customer, and the customer is just like the users actually. So those kind of thing, and if any issue comes, actually we have to fix. Actually, there is something called warranty period. That 3 months, the last three, the quarter will be used as a warranty period as well. Does it make sense to
Okay,
you?
got it.
Any question on PI planning?
Noman has raised his hand.
Okay, I'm not seeing it. Sorry.
Actually, sir, I
Yes.
want to add something here.
Mhm.
Like Safir said that after the end-to-end product release, it's not necessary that issue won't arises at any stage. If you allow me to just give an example of gaming industry, that in gaming industry there are many games and issues, bugs, and glitches may arise at any stage. So they keep updating the game versions so that glitches or the issues may be fixed, bugs may be fixed. So we can take the fourth quarter into consideration for that purpose as well, for fine tuning the issues that may arise at any stage can be catered in the fourth quarter, if I'm not wrong.
No,
Yes,
you are like yes. Please,
yeah,
brother, Ivan. Yeah, you can answer.
just for the sake of simplicity, let's. Uh, I think we are discussing this too much. Just for the sake of simplicity, let's take it as a buffer period where which may you may be keeping for some post-release support. Okay, or just in case since when we talk about agile, so we have a variable kind of a scope is not fixed. So in between, if any scope changes are there and that may need some extra time, so then let's take it as a buffer for that as well, and let's move forward to keep things just to keep things simple.
Sure. Yeah.
If Mr. Safir is okay with it.
Yeah, no, no, that's fine actually. No issue. That will be like that's what I want to do
Yes.
actually. Why I put 4, right? This is like quarterly wise we have to plan, okay? And last quarter, if you're ending the product and if you don't need to any warranty period, then that's the IT company will give some other work actually, not the customer. So anyhow, there will be a lot of confusion under this like early stage, right? We are in, so there will be confusion. So as of now, we'll say like, okay, the last quarter will be the last 3 months will be the warranty period. Okay, maintenance support. That's all. Should we move to the next one, brother? So it's like all are clear on PI planning. What exactly we do?
Yes, yes.
Okay, and the PI planning, which we did yesterday, was for only for. Can anybody tell like which PI planning we did? Yesterday we discussed about the epic and we discussed about the backlog and the sprint. We did for the first PI. Does anyone remember we did for first PI?
Yes, we remember.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. So okay, now we are discussing about the product backlog as well as the product release schedule. We already discussed the release schedule and the release backlog. Okay, and product backlog we already discussed that this is the product backlog. And now okay, I have modified the created the new board and I have added the epic and backlog and then sprint so that it will be easy to understand. Today there was some confusion, right? So now yesterday we discussed in the first epic, sorry, first PI, we will deliver these are the features actually. Okay, like user credentials, security, header, footer, account detail. And then from that epic, we have to deliver the story actually. I got one document actually. Let me see. Okay, so we have a whole product here, and from the product we have created the epic actually. So epic is nothing but user credential is one epic. User credential in the sense like it will come as sign in as well as login actually. Both will come at the user credential. And then security. We discussed about yesterday like whole page security we have to take as a priority. Then we discuss about the header, which menu will be there in the, and search will be where. And then footer, what are the menus will be in the footer, like contact, about, media, carrier. And then once we log in, then we have to go to the account details screen also. So we discussed yesterday about this one. So now we already discussed about that. So now we have to go to the sprint backlog. Okay, sprint backlog is nothing but every week what the agile team will do, they'll have a ceremonies, we call as ceremonies. In agile we have to use the ceremonies. The meeting name is called ceremonies. That is called backlog refinement actually. Okay, so once we did planning is done and everything is decided. Okay, which are the epics we have we have to go deliver in the particular PI. Then we have to do the refinement. For example, we have to pick one of the epic, and then we have to start creating the stories for this feature, and then for this feature, and then for this feature, and then we have to story point for that particular feature also, user stories. Till now, is everybody clear or any question?
Clear, Shakir.
Okay. So yesterday we created some sample story, right? So this is the story we created. Like I just put an example, okay? And you take like a story, okay? In the story, there will be acceptance criteria, there will be a developer consideration, there will be a testing consideration, or any external factors we have to consider. Everything will be discussed and everything will be documented in the particular story. Okay. Once we documented, all the team member, like for example, we have like around 12 to 13 members in our team here now. So every team member will understand what is the story about and what exactly we have to deliver actually. That's the value. And that is also like increment actually. Okay. So everybody will discuss, and if anybody have any question, they can ask. Once discussed, we have done the user story, the story point. So yesterday we have done session for story point, and then once everybody discussed, and then once everybody concluded one of the story point, we'll put like story point like 3 or 5 or 8, and then this story is ready to be picked up in the sprint actually. Okay. So now, for example, we have discussed about this story, and we have story pointed, and we planned actually we have to do in the sprint. Okay. I know there will be some confusion. Okay. Backlog refinement, that the story refinement can be done in 3 ceremonies. If we have time in PI planning, we'll do there also. And then there will be a separate session that is called sprint backlog refinement. That we have to do the story evaluation and then story pointing. Then if there is no efficient time on the backlog refinement, then when we do the sprint planning, at that time also, if you want to do any story discussion and story pointing, there also we can do that story pointing. That story refinement and pointing. Does it clear now for backlog refinement where we can do?
Clear, but what we do in the backlog refinement? What
That's a
need
good
to
question.
do?
Okay. Yeah, I was expecting yesterday itself. Okay. Okay. Now in backlog refinement, we have taken this story. Okay. So now what we do is that the story we have to create a user ID label, right? Okay, and then we have to create a database. Okay, and then we have to,
And again, in short, in bottom line, that in the backlog refinement session, we convert user story into tasks, right?
yes, yes, everything will be discussed actually, whether it be tasks as well as like what are the connections, what are the database, or what are the implements or impediments actually we have to do. Everything will be discussed in particular backlog refinement. If you take this story, at least 10 to 15 minutes will be taken for per story to complete actually. And there only the developer will chime in actually. This is not the product owner or scrum master role actually. Developer will
Okay.
come actually,
It's
the developer
purely,
does
it's
team.
purely team member role.
Yes,
basically.
team member. Yes, sorry. Yeah, the team member will chime in and they'll say that okay, they need this one actually. They need to do this one to complete this particular task actually. So they'll put all the information, all the information. Once they put like, okay, they say that okay, I don't have this particular software in my machine to develop this code actually, and then that is also put here actually that this person has to install the software and have to get the license and have to install. So each and every detail will be available. We have to put in the particular story, okay, to complete this feature. So there will be lots of discussion happen actually in IT world. Actually, if you take one story, one person will say that okay, we don't need to do this kind of connection establishment. Then somebody else say that okay, no, we have to do because there is another new database. So this kind of discussion will happen. Based on that, they'll put all the information. That is called acceptance criteria. First description will be there, and then acceptance criteria will be there. In acceptance criteria, then testers will chime in. Okay, they will say that okay, they need this information so that they can able to test it actually. I'll show you one of the other example, and I'll show others. I'll send one of the I'll search and send one of the template how the user stories will look like. Okay. So as of now, it's clear actually what exactly we do in the backlog refinement. If you have any question, you just let me know actually. Okay, once we discuss all this information, then we do the story point. Okay, once we do story point, that means that this story is ready to be picked by the developer. So this will be again, we have already decided. Okay, so I'll put this also important one actually, secure configure. Okay. Okay, I'll just put like one example. Okay, total will be in 3. So now in backlog refinement, we have discussed about the story. If you see here, we discussed about the sprint backlog refinement. We have discussed all the story. So once it has been discussed, then story is been ready. So backlog refinement is done. So after that, there will be called sprint planning. Can anybody tell like how frequency we'll do sprint planning?
Maximum 1 month.
Okay, here
Planning.
yeah, sprint planning. I told actually in one of the PI 3 months we have 6 sprints. That means that every 2 weeks there will be one sprint. Okay. So now, can anybody tell me now like how frequency we will do the sprint planning? Sprint planning.
Sprint planning happens at every beginning of every sprint.
Yes, in every 2 weeks. Yes, you're right. In beginning of the every new sprint actually. Okay, so when we start the sprint planning, first we have to check the velocity. This will not be applicable for the first few sprints. If you have a new team or new project, first 3 or 4 sprint it will not be applicable because the team is setting up actually. They will be in the discussion phase. There will be like lots of other thing actually, so they will not be there. But after that, we have to check the previous sprint, how much velocity have been. Velocity is nothing but total story points which we have completed in the sprint. Like for example, 50 or 60 story point which is completed in the sprint. That means, well, that story point is called velocity. In the sprint planning, we have to check like who are the members available, okay, and if anybody is in the PTO or vacation or holiday, okay, or any company leaves that particular 2 weeks. Those all this consider we have to consider when we start doing the sprint plan. Okay, in the sprint planning.
Just can you give me a minute here?
Sure.
I think this the display that is there on the screen might be somewhat confusing because when we are talking about this backlog thing, so this should have some items left in it once we are, let's say we are in sprint one. So whatever is left is this is, I think this is where you are talking about the product backlog. This backlog
Yes.
items. This is our product backlog, as far as I understand. Is it so, or it is something different?
No, this is same actually, brother. I just put like what are the tickets I have on that the notes actually. I thought okay, it will be easy to understand if you put on sprint wise actually. Yes, you're right. There will be like always backlog item will be there.
Yes, and this epic kind of thing, the items that are in epic that we have not yet selected for any sprint or backlog, these are also should be part of our product backlog, overall product backlog.
Okay.
Am I right?
Yes, actually, what happened, right? There are many tools actually which company use actually. If you use that tool, it will be easy to link actually. And if you take the particular story, in that story itself, there is an option that you can see which epic are there. Okay, but here this is like free board, right? I don't have any other option actually apart from just putting the board stickers actually here.
Okay, just for the sake of understanding of everyone, I'm talking to the development team now that whatever item, the items that are in sprint 1.1, if you can go back to that slide window again.
Yeah.
Whatever these items that are or the user stories that are coming in sprint 1.1, you can say that this is our current sprint backlog. Okay, and whatever is left, that is our product backlog. Either it is right now it is displaying in epic or in sprint 1.2, 3 or 4. These all items are our product backlog, and this is our sprint backlog, which is the item that we see in sprint 1.1. Please correct me, Safir, if there is some
Yeah,
if it needs some correction.
no, that's correct, brother. But due to the I don't have much capability in this board actually, right? So that's what I have to
Yes,
put.
yes, I can understand that due to limitation of this interface that we have. So just that is why I'm trying to clarify that sprint 1.1, the four user story item, this is our sprint backlog that we
Yes.
have picked up for the current sprint, and everything else that you can see on this board is our is essentially our product backlog that we will use when we to pick stories for the next sprint whenever we go there.
Yeah. So maybe or maybe once we are done with every week there will be a sprint backlog refinement, right? So at that time we'll pick up at actually we'll discuss about the story, we'll detail the story, then story point, and then keep it ready. Whether we're doing on I'll do one thing. I'll keep it to back actually. It will be easy. Okay. So once it has been ready, once it has been discussed, then we'll see. Okay, there'll be always story will be in the backlog. If in sprint 1.1 the members have completed the story, and if they don't have any work, they will pull from the backlog and they can start working by discussing with the product owner. He or she cannot pull the story without discussing the product owner. Okay, product owner will prioritize which story they have to start working on based on the discussion with the team actually. But still, product owner is having I can say like authority to correct actually on the priority wise. Okay. Yeah. Anything else, brother? Okay. Now we are in sprint planning. Okay. In sprint planning, we have to discuss the velocity and then who are the vacation and like what are them. And then once come the sprint planning, we have all the stories, right? Like for example, we have picked like 10 stories. We have to discuss who is going to pick up the story. Okay, so this is not like we have to authorize or deliver that this is the person who has to complete the story. It's not like that. It's as a team we have to discuss. Okay, now we consider as we are in sprint planning. I'm opening this particular story. I'm seeing like login enable user ID. Okay, who want to pick up this story? And you can consider as a story point 8. Okay. So 8 in the sense like what usually we do is that 8 means like whole sprint it will take. This story, to complete this story, it will take like whole sprint. Whole sprint means like 1.1 it will take for one person. Okay. Just give me an example. Who want to pick? Sorry, Ganesh?
Can you just repeat the last statement again after the story point?
Okay.
So
So there will be like called effort, okay, and time actually. Based on that only we have to plan on the sprint. Okay. Now for this particular story, we have already discussed and we have given the story point as a 8 actually. So 8 in the sense means most of, I'm like what usually we do is that 8 means one person will work on this story for whole sprint actually, because this story is a big story. Okay, and
whole sprint is for 2 weeks.
Yes, 2 weeks, 10 days sprint. Okay.
So the main point of this exercise is now what Safir is trying to communicate is that when you are in a sprint planning and you have user stories to perform activity on actual work, so it's the team. The team decides that who is going to perform work on this story. So now he's asking all of you guys, the development team, that who is going to pick up this story and do the work on it. So whoever wants it, please you raise your hand. You are not going to do it actually. just just giving. He's trying to give the idea that how things actually work.
Who wanna pick this story? Anybody?
No one is coming up.
Okay, can you tell actually? I cannot. I have to switch that to the.
Yes, Kamran has raised his and Rizwan. Kamran is raising his hand. I don't know. He's raising hand for picking up the story, or he has some question.
Sir, I am raising it for picking up the story.
Okay, so now we have.
And another person also raised.
Yes.
Who is that?
Rizwan.
Okay, brother Kamran and brother Rizwan, you both discuss and tell me like who is going to pick up this story.
And can we do it in pair programming as well? Dividing the effort?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good question actually. Yes, that's up to the team actually. If they want to do the pair programming, that's up to the team. They can decide like whatever they want.
So this will divide the effort, I guess.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, Steve, we will do it in pair planning.
If one guy is doing it in the whole sprint, so if there are two guys are working, so maybe they can do it in 5 days.
Yeah, that's also
Is it so?
possible.
Okay.
Kamran and Noman, right?
It is one.
Oh, sorry, Rizwan. Sorry, brother. Kamran Rizwan. Okay.
No
So
problem.
now, brother Kamran and brother Rizwan is going to work on this story, but still story point will be the same. We are not going to update any story point, but the effort or less days will be reduced actually because both are working on the same story. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So now we have done this one actually. So this story is ready and it will be assigned to brother Kamran and brother Rizwan. And now
Yes,
from
Saman,
going
you have
forward,
some question?
Yes, Safir, I am confused. I am confused that you have gave to story user story story point 8. Where this criteria come from? Because you said that story point 8 means that it will take one sprint to complete this user story. What if the story point is 6, 5, 4, any number lesser than 8? So is there any criteria, specific number representing how many days or sprint that this user story should be completed?
okay, that's a beautiful question. Did you remember like brother Imran was telling like last week I believe DOR definition of ready and the norms actually team norms. In that actually the team will discuss how we have to complete the efforts actually, whether the story point 8 means 8 days or it should be like based on the criticality on the story. So that's how we have to discuss earlier actually in the sprint zero itself as a team. We have to decide, okay, how we have to story point either based on the effort or based on the criticality of the story.
Yes, I got it now.
Okay, so that's what we have to put in the norms and definition of ready.
Okay, uh, uh, so this needs to be taken care at sprint zero,
Yeah,
at the start of the project, right?
yes. Sprint zero or before that, there will be some time actually where team will not do any work actually. At that time itself, Scrum Master will discuss all these things with the team, and they will come to the conclusion that the story point should be done in this way. Either it should be in effort wise, or it should be like priority wise, or it should be like criticality wise, or combination of both. So that's what the team will discuss, and they'll come together.
Okay, great. Thank you.
No problem, brother. Okay, now we have done one this story on.
And maybe and also maybe this is coming from what you can say, like after doing story pointing, we do task level estimation in hours as well. Uh, so based
Level.
on that working, also adding up with this the explanation that Safir gave. So once you are deciding things earlier or at the start, so then you can have maybe the task level estimation, which is in hours. So based on a story pointing, I guess you can define the number of hours as well. That if the story is point is 8, so it means it will be requiring this kind of task level effort in terms of number of hours. Is it like this, Safir, or you want to add something to it?
Actually, brother, task level in the sense like you are talking about in the story itself or subtask.
Yes, as we studied that once we do the story estimation level estimation effort, then we do the story pointing, and
Mhm.
then we go to the task level as well, which is the ideal time in number of hours or things like this. So where does that comes into play when you are talking about the actual work that the team will be going to do in number of hours?
That's what actually, brother, I'm saying effort, right? Effort will come whether we have to discuss whether it will be in the hours, or it will be in the days, or it will be based on the criticality or based on the priority. So or either it will be the combination of the effort or criticality. So task
Yes.
means
So this means that the this story point 8, the team has decided already that if we give story point 8 to any story, so it will take us 10 days to complete,
full screen.
or you can say that if or 80 hours to complete, if we talk about
Yes.
it hours.
Mhm.
So this
Mhm.
is something which is already decided, and based on that you calculate the number of days.
Yes, you're right, brother.
Okay.
The, the the major issue comes, right, as I'm telling my experience, story pointing, the effort, how we have to decide actually. Always there will be issue. Always in retro actually we'll get this issue actually. People are telling that okay, this is not working because we have efforted, we have discussed, we have given effort for 5 point. It took like 8 point for us actually. So this is always be confusion, but as agile we have to be flexible and we have to change it accordingly actually. And frankly speaking, till now actually I'm facing lot of issue on this efforts actually. Like some people are telling like no, we have to change. Every sprint there will be a discussion. Anyhow,
Yes,
I'm just telling my experience.
the
Sorry,
more
bro.
rosy the more rosy it seems while studying, the actual thing is a lot difficult, as you are saying.
Yeah, that's we have to
When
bring
you
all
are
the people on board, right? That's the
uh,
main task
challenge.
actually.
Yes.
Okay, let's move forward. Okay, now we have discussed about this story, and now going forward till demo to the product owner, this is the responsibility of Kamran and Rizwan. Going forward, Scrum Master will just only interfere when they have any impediment, and if they need any help from the external member, then only Scrum Master will interfere and will help actually. Or if they need any information in between when the sprint start, they can anytime they can raise to product owner in any of the ceremonies, stand up or review or refinement. They can ask any, or they can ping, or they can email. They can get information whenever they start. But the owner is Kamran and Rizwan going forward, and these are the two people who will be responsible and who will be answerable for this enable user ID. Does it make sense?
Yes. So now let's say the work is underway. Uh,
Mhm.
the team has decided, now they are doing the work. So now in between, we will have daily stand-ups where, as you already told, that they can discuss what they have done, what they will do, and if they are facing any issues.
Mhm.
And uh, so now we are into the sprint, and we have completed the sprint. Uh, so now what will happen?
Okay.
Are we at this stage to discuss that, or you have something else to discuss as well?
Yeah, I have like little bit more actually, like day to day daily stand up, and let's
Okay,
little
okay,
bit more scenario so that it will be clear. Just
okay.
give some more time.
Rizwan has raised hand.
Oh yes, brother Rizwan.
Sphere, I have a question that we have a story to be completed in sprint 1.1, but due to
Mhm.
some reason the developer is ill or he is not able to complete story
I'm going
in
to come that
1.1.
now. Hold
Yes,
that.
yes.
I have that scenario. Uh,
Okay, okay,
okay, I'm going to come that. Let other respond. Okay, that's the real scenario. Yeah, I have
okay,
that
okay.
scenario in this slide actually. In this slide itself, I have that scenario. Let me come back. Thanks, brother. Okay, let's go one more. Okay, let's like who is going to take this one? Who want to take this story? We will not go in depth actually. Just tell some name.
Samad.
Okay. Okay, who is going to take this story?
Noman has also raised his hand. I don't know.
Okay, I'll put Noman.
If he's
Yes, I will take that story.
Okay. Story point 3. Okay. Now we have discussed, we have planned, and who's going to take the story, and who's going to be on vacation. So everything we have been discussed, and now sprint 1.1 is already started. Okay, so now we are in the third day of the sprint. Okay, so now we are in the daily stand-up. On the third day of the sprint, we are in daily stand-up. In daily stand-up, we have to answer these questions actually. Like for example, what we did yesterday, what we are going to do today, any impediment. Okay, if you don't have any impediments, for example, I'll say that okay, yesterday I contacted the DBS team, and whatever the connection, the query, I have created the query, I have connected that, and I have tested that. And today I'm going to move the code into the test environment so that the tester will work. So that's I'm going to do today. I don't have any blocker. So that's what we have to do in this daily stand-up. So this is only what we did yesterday, what we are going to do today, implement. Apart from that, we are not going to speak anything else in daily stand-up. Yes, end of the call, when everybody is being completed the daily stand-up update, if they have time, they can discuss. Like mostly they will have like 4 minutes or 5 minutes only. They can discuss of any issues or they need any help or any help, and all this thing will come to the any blocker itself actually, any impediment. Okay, they'll say that okay, I'm stuck on this particular code actually. I need help from some one of the developer. So then somebody say that okay, I have a bandwidth, I'll help you. So that's how the daily stand-up will go. And now, yes, what's that?
Samad, if
Okay.
you can turn off your mic. Yes, thank you.
Okay, now we are in the third day of the sprint. Okay, we already started this story, and this is like number one priority, and we have to complete in sprint 1.1. There is no other way. Brother Kamran was sick, okay, and he was not able to join another 3 or 4 days. Okay, but we don't know when he is going to come back. And Brother Rizwan has told in the stand-up that okay, I'm not Brother Rizwan. The email communication and the sick information will be come to the team actually or people manager, and then in Scrum Master will inform whether the whole team or if the whole team knows actually that's fine. Then we'll say that okay, only Brother Kamran is leave, only Brother Rizwan is there, and we have to complete this sprint in 1.1. There is no other way. What we can do? Any suggestion? Product owner is asking that this story has to be complete. There is no other way. It should carry forward.
I think product owner will go to the team and said that if have any time, he can join this one and complete the sprint.
No. Product owner role is to bring the backlog item, to bring the business information, and then he will create a story. He will put the ACs and all these things with the discussion the team. He will not assign any work to the team, development team.
In Agile, the team is self-organizing, so
Yeah.
you guys have to decide accordingly, keeping this in mind. This is a very good scenario, in fact.
Actually, sir, we can ask the team who can spare some time to complete Kamran's story, or from the story pointing we can assume or discuss within a team that let's suppose in my case I have a story to deliver where story pointing is 3, and that means less effort is required. So I can voluntarily say that in the absence of Kamran, uh, I will work on that story as well.
You said actually you have only 3 points, right? So this is you're not going to complete. So how you're planning to complete in this story actually, like whole sprint or 3 days?
Well, it depends on number of hours that are required
That's what
to
the story
complete
point
this
comes,
story.
right? That's what story points come. If the, for example, we already decided that the story point will give based on the days actually effort. Okay. For example, one story point for 1 day, two story point for 2 days, three story for 3 days. Okay. Now for this story actually enable sign in button. will take 3 days. So we have given 3 points. Okay, and same thing actually. All the other, there will be other stories. For Noman, we already discussed in the planning. There will be 2 stories actually. Okay, I'll give this one also. Okay, so it's not like okay. Now, how many story points have Noman is having in this sprint?
Well, right now I have 8 story pointing in total.
8, right?
So in this scenario, it will be difficult to manage some uh, other tasks as well.
That's what I'm saying. So when we plan on the sprint planning, we have to plan all the member exactly particular of days actually, like whole sprint actually, not only for only 2 days or 3 days. For example, if you take actually Noman, we already planned and he's already having a 8 point story which is for whole sprint, and he doesn't have any capacity to help on this particular story. So Noman is out of question. What about Samad? Samad is also having eight story. I mean that 8 point story. Just assume that there will be a story. So nobody is having any capacity. What should we do now? But this is the high priority story.
The product owner will comes in and prioritize the tasks in the backlog. If the Kamran's user story has highest priority and Samad and Noman has lower, so he will take out Samad or either Noman from the other user stories and adjust them in Kamran's user story so that it can be completed in assigned sprint.
That's 100% correct actually. So usually, previously I say that, right? Product owners have the authority to reassign. Okay, like whatever you said, actually that's 100% correct. So now Brother Imran will see, based on the discussion, the stand-up, Brother Imran will see the sprint 1.1 and see like which of the stories can be moved back to backlog, so that the whoever assignee will help Brother Rizwan to complete on this story. Did it make sense?
So in that case, the Samat story will go to backlog of sprint 1.2.
No. What you okay? That is also a scenario actually where we will use, but as of now, we'll move out of this sprint actually. We will remove the Samat story to the backlog. We will discuss in the next sprint planning whether it will go to sprint 1.2 and 1.3. That is a different scenario. But as of now, we'll remove this from the sprint 1.1 and we'll either keep it in backlog or sprint 1.2. That's up to product owner. But just we reassign.
Because after every sprint you when you doing the sprint planning, so again you do backlog refinement, and product owner comes in. So based on the your delivery of the previous sprint, you decide, and maybe you need to reprioritize some features or update your product backlog, and then decide which items to pick for the next sprint. So it is all an iterative kind of thing that we keep doing before and after each sprint.
Okay. Are you clear, brother?
It's
Any other
better
questions?
it's better to speak because Safir is unable to see this thumbs up or
Oh, okay.
things like
See,
this.
that kind of thing.
Yes, I think this is clear to the guys. I've
Okay.
seen few thumbs up.
So now reassigning also we discussed actually in the sprint itself. If something happen or some thing, and that, for example, if this story there is some issue in the infrastructure and he cannot able to proceed, he will move to block status in the board, and then product owner will ask actually there is one more story in the backlog, and that is also that you can pick up next actually. So that's how the team will work. Okay. So now everything is done actually in the sprint. We almost all completed, but one story, this story, if you take enable sign in button, it's not completed because of infrastructure was down. Okay, that's not issue from our side. It's from the infrastructure side. Infrastructure in the sense like there will be like they have not given the proper server, or proper code, actually, I mean that proper design, so that we can implement this login sign in button. So now this has not been completed. The last day we discussed, okay, this has not been completed. What should we do next? Okay, Noman, you are the owner for this story. Can you tell me like what should we do next?
I think so. I should meanwhile work on the other story that is assigned to me.
Yeah,
Or
that you already completed that one. Okay, first you have completed that one, and then you started working on this. But one day before of the sprint end, infrastructure team has sent you an email saying that they got some issue with the server, and because of that, they are not able to complete on a time. They need 3 or 4 more days. Okay, so now what you did is that you have already moved. You already started working. Okay, like around 20% you have already completed. So you are stuck. Actually, you moved this story to block status. There is a status called block where you put the comment and you say that this is blocked because of this reason. And now, end of the day, we have to complete the sprint. Actually, demo product. All the team member will give a demo, but this story we have not completed. So what exactly we'll do next?
we can discuss this in stand-up meeting, and may involve the product owner for reprioritizing the stories.
Okay, last day of the sprint, we will not reproduce any story in the sprint. Actually, sprint 1.1. What we can do is that we can take this one and we have to carry forward this story to sprint 1.2. When we close the board, I mean that in the Jira, there is a tool called Jira. When we close the sprint, they will be saying that, okay, this particular item has not been completed. That means that then we have to select that particular story and we have to move to the sprint 1.2. That is called carry forward the story from one sprint to another sprint.
But carrying forward the story, this kind of a story that was, let's say, 20%, 25% work was done. Can the team do it on their own, or again, it will need the go ahead from the product owner?
No, if you have done 20 to 25%, right? No one is waiting from the infrastructure to confirm that server is ready. Okay, and already they said that they need 3 days. That means that it will be available. For example, sprint ending on Wednesday means 3 days means Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So Monday it will be available. So no one can continue work on from Monday on this particular story.
So in that scenario, will the story points be changed?
Okay.
As we have already completed, so the number of required hours or number of days will be lesser. If let's suppose if we have completed 30% of it, then I can complete it in next 2 days instead of 3 days.
Correct. That's a beautiful question, and there will be like in norms actually when we create our norms, right? We have to discuss how we have to split the story. I mean that splitting the point, whether we need to split the point or we have to use the whole point in the next sprint. But only rarely company will splitting the point because it will have a lot of confusion as well as the velocity and all this like so many other issues. So usually what we do is that we will not split the point. We'll just carry forward the story, and the velocity will be used for sprint 1.2. For
Yes,
customer,
and that makes sense as well, because although you are carrying forward this story, but you will be bringing in more stories from the product backlog. So that can be a challenge if you are splitting the story points, uh, because depending on the capacity or velocity of the team, so that can become a challenge if you are splitting a story and bringing others. So maybe the point tally uh, leads you to maybe uh, with the sum of velocity is not coming equal to your velocity, so then you have to drop some items. So maybe that is the reason behind why they do not prefer splitting the story, or is it some other reason?
yeah, this is the correct reason, brother Imran. the if you start splitting the points, right, there will be lots of issue will come actually. In fact, there will be like fight will also happen with the developers. uh, there are so many other issues in background actually. To avoid all the issues, actually, just carry forward the story. That's all. For customer, they doesn't care. Okay, they need the product to be delivered. Okay, from process wise, they will care. They will care about the velocity. They will care about like on the priority wise how they have completed. So that's why there will be two different instances. Okay, but as a process, actually, most of the agile team will discuss. Okay, let's carry forward the story. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we are on time. We are like over 4 minutes actually. 11:15. We have to stop. We are 4 minutes. Uh, I think we can stop now. This is still daily stand-up and end of the sprint. Okay, we have completed till end of the sprint. We've carried forward one of the story, and we have to give demo. Already, brother Rizwan and other people have already given demo, and they already said this. A product owner has accepted, and they have moved the story to done. Except I can say one example. I'll say like one example. Product owner has not accepted the story. I'll say that this one. Okay, product owner has not accepted the story because it's not what it has been mentioned in the AC on the description. Based on the discussion that he has to, Samad brother Samad has to rework and he has to carry forward the story. Does
So
it make sense?
any rework or story that is not accepted is also carried forward
Mhm.
automatically, or
Yes, because it is
okay,
not met the acceptance criteria, which
yes,
relate to definition of done.
definition of done. Okay,
Okay, so anything which is not accepted in the acceptance criteria, product owner obviously product owner will not accept that, and that means that it's not a bad thing actually for developer. It's not a bad thing. He tried actually, but somehow it missed that actually. So that's why agile actually give flexibility to the team member. Okay, if it's not done, okay, let's complete in the next sprint. So we moved that story to the next sprint. But but performance wise, project manager will check, okay, why it has been not done based on the AC on description. He has to be take care, and he has given the stand up all 8 days. He said that he has done this. There is no issue. There is no issue. There is no impediment. But last day something gone wrong, and it has not worked on how it has been mentioned in the story. So that is the project owner's stuff actually. But as for agile Scrum Master, he doesn't care. Okay, he said, okay, let's give one more chance. Let's give one more chance to the person. So that's how we have been carried forward the story.
all right.
Yeah. Any other question, brothers?
So what else is left now from this demo?
Okay. After that, actually, we have to do sprint review and then sprint retro. That's the only two part left. If you
How
want, I
much
can
time
give.
it will?
Otherwise, we can stop also. Like we can stop
So
this.
how much time it will take?
Maximum 30 minutes if you want.
How many? 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Not
don't know
now,
if
actually.
any.
Not now.
Okay. Okay, so we can, if we all agree, we can shift it to next Saturday. After the class, we can do it.
And
Okay.
let me know. Let me know the feedback as well. I know like it will be like vague actually to start. Actually, let me know feedback if you want to add anything. Okay.
Yeah, sure, sure. Okay, so if you guys can just give me 5 minutes. And again, thank you, Safir, for bringing this for all of us. I hope it is making everyone, including myself, understand how things actually work. So for me, it's a learning opportunity as well, and I hope it is the same for others as well. So thanks a lot for taking time out in delivering this excellent kind of demo.